is dead."
"How can you be so sure when there's no corpse to prove it?"
"Because there's been no whisper of his existence for the last 4 years. Before that, there had been a constant flow of stories about the twisted shit that Paxton had been up to since becoming a lone shifter. He'd mostly worked as an assassin, but not as a mere sniper. No, he'd brutalized his targets. All palace cats were ruthless, but Paxton? There'd been a cruel, sadistic quality to his bloodthirstiness. People who enjoy killing generally don't just stop.
"True," conceded John. "But I think he did. I think he gave up that lifestyle for the one thing on Earth that means anything to him. His true mate. You."
A shard of pain lanced her chest. Finding your predestined mate was supposed to be something joyous, something to celebrate. You weren't supposed to fear them. You weren't supposed to feel relieved that they were dead. You weren't supposed to be paired with someone so fucked up. Someone who could never love you or be a point of safety for you. "If I meant anything to him, he wouldn't have left me," she said. "Paxton cared for no one."
"You were a child when he became a loner, 11 years old, far too young for him to claim. How old were you when you first sensed he was your mate?"
"Barely 5. The discovery had rattled both her and her cat. It really didn't take an Omega like Bree to sense the wrongness in him. He, too, had known they were mates. Back then, she hadn't understood how someone so cold and hollow could feel the presence of their true mate. But, as Vinny later pointed out, Paxton wasn't a person who experienced the sort of things that blocked the frequency of mating bonds, like fears, insecurities, or uncertainties.
"It must be hard for you to have a true mate who's so dark inside,"
John said when she didn't answer his question. Paxton hadn't been dark inside. He'd been empty. Utterly empty. As an Omega, she could read a person's emotions through touch. All she'd felt from Paxton was a chilling apathy that made her skin crawl. And she often wondered what it said about her that the other half of her soul had been so devoid of emotion. Maybe her deceased parents were right when they told Bree that his nature didn't reflect on her, that he was just wired differently, or that his brain had been damaged by the drugs his mother took while pregnant. But some of the people in her pride believed that Bree must share some of his darkness purely because she was his predestined mate. As such, she wasn't close to many people, but those she cared for didn't think that way. That was all that mattered to her.
"I assure you that I will not reveal his whereabouts to anyone," said John. "You have no need to protect him from me. I just want to speak with him."
"Then go hire a psychic. Maybe they can help you commune with his ghost or something. Now, I have shit to do, so..." Tightening her grip on her purse, she walked right past them.
"Have a good day, Miss Dwyer," John called out.
Bree didn't glance over her shoulder as she replied, "Whatever." Why he'd want to waste time searching for a dead man, she didn't know. She also didn't care. Paxton Cage was dead. Dead. If she repeated it to herself often enough, she might even fully believe it. Standing behind the jewelry store counter, Bree talked with a male lion who wanted to buy a necklace for his mate. Over the past hour, he'd been torn between two. Whenever he seemed close to settling on one necklace, he'd then ask to touch the other again. Store policy was that only a single tray could be out of a display case at a time, so she'd had to repeatedly replace one with the other. Such fun. Still feeling the effects of her hangover, she had no idea how she'd made it this long without falling asleep. She wondered if it would be so bad to take a nap in her locker. Hey, she'd slept in more uncomfortable places. The moment it hit closing time, she was so out of there. She'd worked at Pot of Gold since she was 18. It was elegant and inviting, with ambient lighting, crystal chandeliers, gold silk draperies.